Friends, welcome to the class on fuzzy sets. Today we are going to learn about certain properties of fuzzy sets and certain operations on fuzzy sets. So, in the last lecture, we had studied the four specific membership functions on fuzzy sets, that is the capital L, the capital lambda, the capital pi, and the capital gamma. With the same knowledge, we will proceed for further investigation on the properties of fuzzy sets. So while investigating the properties of fuzzy sets, we shall learn about what is support, what is infimum and supremum of a fuzzy set, what is the nucleus, peak value and height of a fuzzy sets. In the meantime, we shall also introduce the idea of convex and non-convex fuzzy sets. So friends, the second phase of this lecture will include the operations on fuzzy sets, in which we will consider the three most important operations of the set theory, that is the intersection, union and the complement. So let us start with the properties of fuzzy sets. So we can define a fuzzy set A. So let us have the heading properties of fuzzy sets. Properties of fuzzy sets. So we can define a fuzzy set A over a universe of discourse X such that there is a support of a fuzzy set A which is crisp in nature, and it contains all elements of A with non-zero membership degree. So let us define a fuzzy set A. Let capital A be a fuzzy set over the universe of discourse capital X. Then we can define a support of A which is a crisp set that includes all the non-zero degree membership of the fuzzy set. So here is a definition for the support. The support of a fuzzy set A is defined as so let us consider the capital S be the support on fuzzy set A. So capital S the support on fuzzy set A, which is a crisp set including element U, which is an element of X such that mu A, the membership function over U is greater than 0. So we'll learn later about the convex fuzzy sets, then we'll deal with convex fuzzy set as it is the case in fuzzy control theory that the support of a fuzzy set is an integral. Therefore, in fuzzy control theory, in terms of width of a fuzzy set is used additionally to the term support. So let us go with another definition of width. So width of a convex fuzzy set A with support set SA can be defined like this. So when I am speaking about the convex fuzzy set, you can take it as a membership function which is having only one peak, or which is either increasing or decreasing, and this function should not have any zero or should not have any dip in between. Means there should not be two maxima with in between one minima like that. It should have only one maxima or only increasing or decreasing value of the function. So that we shall discuss a little later, but let us first understand what is the width of a convex fuzzy set. So we can define it like this definition: the width of a convex fuzzy set A, convex fuzzy set A with support set capital S over A. Remember that A is a fuzzy set while capital S is a crisp set. So with support set A is defined as width of DTH, width of capital A equals to the supremum, we write in short SUP, of the support of A minus infimum, we write in short as INF, of the support A. So here we can take an example of how to define the supremum and infimum of the fuzzy set. So let us take the graphical scenario that we have a range which is the width actually. So it has a minimum value alpha, maximum value beta, and in between there is a non-zero value. We consider it as something called epsilon. So I am in between, I am taking something called epsilon greater than 0, right? So here with this concept I define first the infimum. I say alpha is the infimum equals to INF of A, infimum of A, if and only if for all x an element of A, because x is the element of universe of discourse capital X. So again x is an element of A such that x is greater than alpha, and for all epsilon greater than 0 there exist, consider the symbols and their terms and meaning and names, there exist for all there exist some x, an element of A, such that x is less than alpha plus epsilon. Means epsilon is something which is greater than 0, which is greater than alpha also, and the value of x lies somewhere here. So this can be defined in mathematics like this. So x is greater than alpha over here, and x is less than alpha plus epsilon. So x should be in this region. So that is why I'm writing x is less than alpha plus epsilon. So similarly, we can write the supremum beta equals to SUP of A. The concept of infimum and supremum, initially it may look vague, but in mathematical optimization problems, the infimum and supremum play a really big role. Most of the mathematical optimization are based on these concepts of infimum and supremum, because we always need to optimize certain values. That is, we want to get some maximum value, so we have to fix the boundaries. Similarly, we have to get a minimum value, so again we have to fix the boundaries. So within the boundaries we do the operations, so that's why we always require to define the infimum and supremum in case of mathematical optimizations. That is why understanding infimum and supremum is very much important, not only for fuzzy logic but anywhere where you are using optimization, whether it is fuzzy network or neural network or even artificial intelligence. So we should understand it very clearly, make it clear in the beginning itself. So supremum is definitely about the maximum. So we defined supremum if and only if for all x an element of A such that x is, so here I have equal to sign also, x is greater than equal to alpha here. Similarly here I define x in an element of A such that x is less than equal to beta, and for and also there is a symbol like this, and for all epsilon greater than 0 there exists x an element of A such that x is greater than beta minus epsilon. So x is always less than beta, so x will lie here, but x is again greater than beta minus epsilon. So this is beta minus epsilon. Beta minus epsilon means x will be definitely less than beta, but again the range will be between this and this. So x will, the range of x now is between beta minus epsilon and beta. So this range will determine the range or width for the support, and the endpoints are defined as the infimum and the supremum. So therefore, if the support set S as a function of A is bounded, as is usual in fuzzy control, then the supremum and infimum can be replaced by maximum and minimum, because supremum and infimum are the concepts. So when we convert this concept into numerical terms, so we define this supremum and infimum as the maximum and minimum. So I can define x is nothing but it is the minimum, and beta is nothing but it is the maximum. So when we are talking about the width, so this alpha minus beta forms the width, sorry, beta minus alpha forms the width, 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 and again we can find something called as left width and right width. So let us take an example here to understand it better. So let us take an example here. We can say that if we take the example of the lambda function, capital lambda function we discussed in the last lecture, we have the capital lambda. So we had defined it as with variable x or u with the parameters alpha, beta and gamma, because this is nothing but the membership function. We had normalized the membership function over here, so it was mu normalized 1.0 starting from 0.0. So we are seeing that we have the three important parameters, that is the alpha, beta and gamma. So in this case, the support set SA, the support set S function of A is defined as, it will be given by the closed interval alpha and gamma. So because for this the membership function value is non-zero. So if you ask the width of A, for this width of A, we will see that this is equal to gamma minus alpha. Then what is the left width? So we have the left width of A. So naturally this is the left width of A between alpha and beta. So we can say this left width length is beta minus alpha. Similarly, we can have the right width of A. We can have the right width of A. So this should be equal to, starting from beta to gamma, so this should be definitely gamma minus beta, like this. So you can say that if in this situation the nucleus of a fuzzy set can be defined as a crisp set that contains all the values with membership degree 1. So naturally in this case we have only one point, so here the nucleus should be only one value, that is the beta. So let us define it. Let us define the nucleus definition. The nucleus of a fuzzy set, nucleus of a fuzzy set A is defined as nucleus of A equal to an element of U, which is again an element of X, such that membership function of A over U equals to 1. So definitely you can define it as X-semicolon alpha, beta, gamma. For this the nucleus will be only one element, that is the beta. So, and if there is only one point with membership degree equal to 1, then that point is definitely called as the peak value of A. So here again the peak value is beta. Nucleus and peak value both are beta. So let us write it that the membership degree definition, the membership degree equal to 1, degree equal to 1 will give the peak value of, will give the peak value of A. So in this example this is again beta. So let us take another example to understand it a little more. We take an example. So we have a fuzzy set which is the capital pi. So let us consider it with variable u and the parameters alpha, beta, gamma, delta, because in case of capital gamma we have seen that, pardon me, in case of capital pi we have seen that this is the mu, this is 1.0 starting from 0.0. So we have the function like this. So we have the function like this. So we have alpha, this is beta, this is gamma, this is delta. So we have here alpha equal to 18, 20, 24 and 26. That is example we discussed in the last lecture. So we can take over here that u is 18, 20, 24 and 26. Then the support of the fuzzy set A, which is a crisp set, is definitely the closed interval of 18 to 26, that is the non-zero membership values. Then we can have the nucleus. So we can have the nucleus of this function f, fuzzy set, nucleus of fuzzy set f will be given as the values for which the membership degree is 1. So we can define it as the range of closed interval 20 to 24. Now you can consider that in this case there is no peak value, but there is always a nucleus. And similarly we can go for another concept over the fuzzy set, which is called the height. So height is given by the membership degree itself for the fuzzy set. So if it is a normal membership function, then definitely the maximum value is h, so we can maximum value is 1, so we can give the height as the 1. But in case the membership function is not normalized, then it can be more than 1 or less than 1. So let us define it. Define the height of a fuzzy set. The height of a fuzzy set A on X, denoted by HGT of A, is defined by this is defined by the symbol HGT. So HGT of A is equal to supremum of U, an element of X, where the membership value of A is the range of values from which we will take the largest value. So in that case, a fuzzy set A is called normal if height HGT of A is equal to 1 and subnormal if AGT of A is less than 1. And believe me, this concept of normal and subnormal will be used in a big way in the control application wherever we go for fuzzy control or any other control application where the control is based on optimization techniques. So let us go a little further with the understanding on the convex and non-convex. So let us speak about the convex and non-convex. So let us define about the convex and non-convex fuzzy sets. So the definition is like that. A fuzzy set is called a fuzzy set is called convex if its membership function function doesn't contain dips. It does not contain dips. So we can understand it if you have learned the control theory. You have seen that there are poles and zeros of the system. So in the response where there is a peak, we call it poles, and where is a dip, we call it zeros. So such zeros should not be available when you are explaining a membership function over a range of values of the inverse of discourse. So let us understand it by graphical illustration how it happens. So if you have a membership function like that, a membership function, so it can be normalized or it can be even not normalized. So if I am considering the normalized case, then membership function is varying like this. So in this case you have only one peak and as well as there is no dip, so this is called convex. But in case if you have a dip, definitely there are chances that it will have more than one peak. So I am taking the example, a situation like this. So here you see you got a dip over here, so there are two peaks. So in frequency domain analysis for signals, we say that there are two resonances and one zero or one dip, and in control systems we say that there are two overshoots or two peak overshoots and one zero or one dip, like that. So this is a similar situation with the universe of discourse. So in fuzzy control we deal with the situations when we have a membership function as complex. So if I want to define a fuzzy set as a convex, then I have to define in this way. Let us define it. Like definition: a fuzzy set A is convex if and only if for all x, y an element of capital X, and for all lambda an element of 0 and 1. So this is the crisp set lambda, such that the membership function is a function of lambda x plus 1 minus lambda y which is greater than or equal to the minimum of mu a as a function of x comma mu a as a function of y. So this is how mathematically we represent a situation where over the range, for a given range, I am taking this as the range. So you are varying over a range like this. So over this range, if I can have lambda and 1 minus lambda connected like this, then definitely there will be only one peak like this over the range. So that is why the convex function is defined like that. So if this membership function is greater than the minimum of membership over x and membership over y, then definitely the function will be convex. So this is a very fundamental idea about the properties of fuzzy sets, but in fact there are many more properties of fuzzy sets which can be used as defined starting from the proposition of Zadeh in 1965. Further, many such properties have been defined, but just for introduction and most commonly used properties are discussed over here, and whenever it will be required we will discuss and explore more properties. So next topic of our discussion today is the operations on fuzzy sets. Again, we will limit ourselves to the most important 3 operations of fuzzy sets. However, there are many more operations possible on fuzzy sets. So let us start with the operations on fuzzy set. So let me give the heading operations on fuzzy sets. So we start with the simplest one, because when I said that 2 fuzzy sets are equal, which is the simplest example of operation. So equality operation, we mean to say that the 2 fuzzy sets are equal if the element of the universe of discourse have the same membership degree in each of them. Suppose I define 2 fuzzy sets A and B. So a fuzzy set A is equal to the fuzzy set B if both the fuzzy sets have for each element the membership degree same throughout. So let us define the equality on fuzzy sets. So definition is 2 fuzzy sets are equal. 2 fuzzy sets are equal so these fuzzy sets are A and B taken from the universe of discourse X if and only if for all X an element of capital X such that mu A of X is equal to mu B of X. So X is a variable. You can take the universe of discourse capital U and mu A of U equal to mu B of U, like that you can take. So similarly, we can define the case of subsets. So a fuzzy set A is a subset of fuzzy set B if every element of the universe of discourse has a lower membership degree in A than in B. So mathematically, a set A, a fuzzy set A is a subset of fuzzy set B. So it means A is a subset of B So if this equality sign is not there, so it means that is a proper subset. If equality sign is there, it means this is just a subset, so it can be equal also, if and only if for all x an element of capital X such that mu a is a function of x is always less than mu b function of x. So for each and every element of the universe of discourse capital X which is crisp, we should have the membership value of A always less than the membership value of B, or equal if it is a subset, and if in case of it is a proper subset, then it should always be less than the membership value of B. Membership value of A for a given element of universe of discourse should always be less than the membership value of the same element of the universe of discourse. So let us consider the most commonly used operations as proposed by Zade originally. We can see that in the context of fuzzy set operations, we can define such operations as required by the situation. So we'll consider the union of fuzzy sets, intersection of fuzzy sets, and complement of fuzzy sets. So let us start with the intersection as proposed by Zade. So, as proposed by Zade, first definition for intersection of two fuzzy sets A and B be defined as for all x an element of capital X such that mu A intersection B over X equal to minimum of the two individual membership values, that is mu A over X and mu B over X. Again, this can be defined as this is equal to mu A over X into mu B over X. So you can see that as per the requirement of the situation, we can define the operation on fuzzy sets so suppose I have the example of the chances a light can pass through a transparent sheet or transparent glass. So this is light which is passing through transparent glass. I say the membership value is 0.9. Then again it is passing through another glass which is opaque. So this is 0.1. So here the net chances can be given by the second one, that is 0.9 into 0.1, like that. So depending upon the situation, we can define the operation on the fuzzy set, which we will learn in more detail in our later lectures. So going ahead for the union of two fuzzy sets, so let us define definition union of two fuzzy sets A and B be defined as for all x. Again, I am repeating that this x an element of capital X can be replaced by small u an element of capital U. So there should not be any such ambiguity. You can take the universe of discourse as per your choice. So mu A union B over X equal to maximum of the independent membership degree over the universe of discourse X. So mu B over X. So again, I like to redefine this in terms of another function. This is the minimum of 1 comma mu A over X and mu B over X, mu B over X. So this is interestingly, you can see that in the first case, this is the maximum of mu A. So if this is normalized, so if it is normalized and I am defining mu 1.0 from 0.0, so suppose this is over the universe of discourse, this is, suppose I am defining mu A and this is mu B. So this is mu A and this is mu B. So definitely, so the mu A union B over X is given by 1. I take another example to make it a little more clear. Let us take the example of situation where I want to restrict my final value of the function within the value 1.0. So these are the situations many times we experience in control systems, that we want to put a norm or limit on the bound of a system. So this is mu A, suppose this is mu B. So mu B. So here you have mu A union B. If it is the first case, you will write something, maybe this is 1.3. So mu A union mu B should be 1.3. But in the second case, you will write it as mu A union B of X equals to 1. So the result you're getting, you normalize the result as per your choice. So let us go for defining the third situation where we are speaking about the complement. So definition, the complement of a fuzzy membership function is defined as so when I am speaking about the fuzzy membership function, I am referring to the same fuzzy set. So suppose I have the fuzzy set, you have the fuzzy set A. So for that, this definition is given as for all x an element of capital X, mu A complement of X is equal to 1 minus mu A X. So here, by complement of a fuzzy set, we mean the complement of membership functions as we had referred to in the case of union and intersection. Same way, we are speaking about the membership functions because the fuzzy set itself is a tuple which has a membership function corresponding to the element of the universe of discourse. So whenever we are speaking about the union, intersection or complement or other such operations, we are basically speaking about the fuzzy membership function which can be defined over the given universe of discourse and which is specially formulated for the given fuzzy set. So in this way we can consider different operations over fuzzy set. So again, if I am defining a membership function where mu a is given by some value like this value 1.0 from 0.0, so here this is 0.9 suppose. So complement means here I am considering 1 minus this value, so here 1 minus this value is first point, like I give alpha, beta and gamma of the capital lambda function. So here at alpha I have the entry as 1, at beta I have the entry 1 minus 0.9 is 0.1, and at gamma I have the entry 1. So definitely the complement should come like this. So in this way you have to define different operations on the fuzzy set, and there are many more operations possible as per the requirement of the control strategy which we will implement in future. We will redefine new functions and operations for different fuzzy sets. So for today this is all we have to discuss, and in the coming lecture we will take another very important topic of fuzzy set theory, that is the fuzzy relations. So we will consider about the fuzzy relations and how the ordered pairs are defined and used in our purpose. So friends, in today's lecture we discussed about the different properties and operations on fuzzy sets. If you find this video useful for your knowledge and studies, like this video, and in case you have not subscribed this channel, please subscribe it and set the bell icon for future notifications. You can always send me queries to my email ID neurophuzzysystemsfaq@gmail.com. However, my students can approach me through WhatsApp and my mobile number also. So thank you for your patient listening.